All right, next up, representing Brash Coffee from Atlanta, Georgia, we have Mark Estrada. Mark's just still setting up on stage at the moment. If you guys are in need of a refreshment or more coffee than you've already had, make sure to check out the cafe just behind us where they're serving some delicious plant-based coffees. Also, make sure to check out the rest of our competitions. We've got barista, roasters, SIGs, latte art, and cup tasters, so make sure you check all of those things out. And I do believe we are just about to get started. I'm just waiting on the okay. All right, give it up for Mark Estrada, please, everybody. Mark, whenever you're ready.
Check, check. Awesome. Judges? How you guys doing? Music? Time. Maya Angelou once said that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how they made you feel. So, I want you guys to take a second, and I want you to remember that one moment that changed your whole perspective of what a coffee experience could be. Got it? Mine was in Costa Mesa, California at a coffee shop where I ordered a drink that had the pineapple milkshake flavor notes. And I thought to myself, okay, this is gonna be a dope blended drink. I was thinking about whipped cream, the flavors that were coming through, but instead I was given a simple cup of coffee, but by a very hospitable and generous barista who was very perceptive. And he saw that this dejected iced coffee blended lover was just in a whole different row. He looked at me and he said, hey, look, if this isn't what you want, we can definitely do something else. And after a good conversation, I was like, look, you convinced me. So I tried this cup of coffee, and it was in that moment that I knew I needed to be part of this somehow. But that was the very catalyst that if it wasn't for this individual, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. The coffee that I'm serving today is a nano lot pacamata called the Peach Pacamata, grown by the Menendez family on Finca Las Delicias in El Salvador. It's a very unique coffee. It is an Ethiopian Arabica that was cross-pollinated over generations on Las Delicias by a Pacamata bush. This coffee grows at a perfect, beautiful 1,600 meters above sea level. Crazy thing is, it's a very low yield of only 1,500 pounds per year. So you ain't got not much room to mess up with. Now, the process that Menendez took when it comes to processing this coffee is quite simple. It's just a wash processed coffee, raised on Kenyan beds, dried on Kenyan beds, for 18 days with a moisture content of only 12%. Now, when we spoke to the Menendez family a couple months ago, we wanted to get a coffee that would both represent our relationship and also our roots of Brash Coffee, which is Georgia. And for those who know about what Georgia is called, it's called the Peach State, coincidentally. So when we looked at each other, I knew that this was the coffee that we had to do, and this is the coffee that we had to present. Give me 1 second, judges. I'm gonna get brewing for you guys. All right. So the roasting process of this coffee was on a Dietrich IR12. With an end time of 14 minutes and a development time of 2 minutes. There is a 14% moisture lost in this coffee. Our initial temp is going to be 360 degrees. And our end temp is going to be 406. Now, brewing this coffee, I really did something not really kind of unique, but we really needed to get a lot of the sweetness out of this coffee. And so my grind size particle, I went a little finer, usually what you would do with a V60 to bring out that body. But I also had a help with a little friend of this filter that I'm using that's allowing for my extraction to be consistent and at the optimal times that I need to be able to produce this phenomenal coffee for you guys. With my method, I'm doing a 1:16 method. My temperature is at 205. And I'm doing about 5 different pulses to be able to bring out this coffee for you. Now here comes the fun part. Actually, some of my little favorite aspect of this coffee, the aroma. So let's talk about that real quick. This aroma is going to taste like smell like marshmallows. It's going to have a nice, sweet caramel finish to it. I just learned what this flower is, absinthe. That's a fancy word for a white flower, honeysuckle, and jasmine. All right, so now the body when this coffee is hot. My goodness, syrupy, brown sugar, molinado. That marshmallow candy sweetness is going to be prevalent in the cup. The body is going to be heavy, syrupy. Now when this coffee cools down a little bit, the warm cup, you're going to see that the body is going to change. It's going to be more acidic. Think lemonade, citric, but here's the thing. Instead of a traditional lemonade, I want you to keep on to that molinado, the brown sugar. Floral, honeysuckle in this warm body. And the aftertaste, marshmallow again. Now, my favorite part of this whole coffee is when this coffee cools down. You're gonna go from a juicy body, it's gonna transform one more time. You're gonna get a velvet body this time. And here's where the fun part comes in. You're gonna get cinnamon. You're gonna get cardamom. And just like what we talked about, the peach pacamara, you're gonna get stewed peaches. So I want you to envision mama's cobbler cake, or in my case, my sister's peach cobbler cake. That's what this coffee's tasting like. Now we're gonna do a couple things before I have you guys sip the coffee. I want you guys to envision a memory, whether it was that perspective or something that brings joy to your life. For myself, I'm a father of 2 babies, my little stinks. And that coffee shop I told you about, my wife is the one who took me there on my first date. I actually have a good buddy right there on the stage who was at that location. For me, what I learned these past 2 years, especially being a daddy, is that these moments and memories, and let me define moments for you, are the steps that create the fruit, no pun intended, I promise, of memories that you get. The memories is what you hold on to. The memories is what you're gonna remember. For me, I can't remember what that gentleman's face looked like. I could barely remember the sounds and the steps, but I can remember what that coffee tastes like. Those are the things that I hold on to now. So, as I pour this cup, one by one, take a deep whiff of that aroma. It brings me back to one of my favorite seasons, winter, sitting in front of a fireplace. It's a comforting cup. like I was saying before, so many people are here. So many competitors are competing. Most likely you'll forget what I said, and that's okay. But we just shared a moment together, and that's what I want you guys to hold on to, is this moment that we had. So judges, my name is Mark Estrada. That is my time.
All right. Give it up for Mark Estrada. Hey, Mark, come join me over here.
Yeah.
That was, without a doubt, the most hospitable experience ever.
Thank you.
Just kind of watching it was so good. Tell us a little more about how you're feeling.
I'm feeling good, you know. I had the butterflies, but, you know, that's what happens. But
couldn't tell, but
yeah, no, I feel good, and this is my first time doing this competition, so really awesome to be representing Brash Coffee and with the homies here that are, you know, supporting me. I really appreciate it. So
amazing. Is there anybody you want to thank at home or you know in the show at the moment?
Definitely. There's so many people. Obviously, my lady and my babies that sent me out here, Brash Coffee, and most importantly, the new family that I met in Atlanta. I moved out to Atlanta about a year ago from San Diego, and so this West Coast kid just moved over to the South and got to meet some family that really embraced me. So yeah, there's a bunch of people, so shout out to all those people for sure.
Amazing. And everybody, that's Mark Estrada. Big round of applause, please. Thank you, Mark. You can chill out now. Next up is going to be Edwin Cordova.
I'm so sorry about the drips.
At 12:35, so make sure you come on back and check that out. Stay tuned.